So we're continuing at our intermediate look at walls. Now we're going to be looking at footings and step footings. Okay, so starting from this file, 0901, just cut that and I'll say begin. 02, do another save as, paste the complete, 902 complete, save. Good. Okay, so what are we doing now? Adding footings. So we'll start with our existing floor plan. So we'll go to existing and then we'll go to 3D and we'll take a look at what we have here. Just wanted to look and see this in a consistent color shaded mode. And just while I'm working on this, I think what we'll do is temporarily turn off the topography in this view. The way that you can do that is just click on the link and I can just click on the temporarily hide and I could say hide element. And now we can just see our foundation walls. Now, if we go to structure and then we go to wall foundation, just click on that. We can pick from some preset sizes and we can just basically click on the wall and then there will be a footing that lines up with the bottom of the wall. You can also edit, type, and duplicate, and I can make my own footing. So we could call this one footing -1. And there's the material. That looks to be fine. It's bearing. Its width is going to be, I don't know, let's say 32 inches. And the thickness, we're going to go 8 inches. And we'll say OK to that. So now when we click on the walls, because it's a foundation wall, it knows to go right down to the bottom of that particular wall. Okay, so that's the first way to do it. Let's go to our existing. Oh, we did existing. Let's go to our phase 1. So we're going to go to 3D views, show all. Okay, and then we can do a sunglasses on this. Whenever you hide something through sunglasses, it's only temporary. It'll still print and everything. It's just a purely visual type of thing. So we'll just hide that element. Okay, so we can go and do this again. So we can go there, there, and there. Now it looks like our footing is a little bit heavier. We can just swap that out if we need to. I'll just pick all of those and then I can just say, no, those are footing 1s. Good, so there they are. Sometimes these little join points will give you issues and we can look at how to address that, but sometimes if you just click on it and move it with the grips, it'll work just fine. What about stepped conditions? Well, we weren't really planning on stepping this area right here. I'm just going to do an example on this corner and you can follow me if you'd like. Let's go to a 3D view under existing. Okay, so there it is there. This is the back. And what we're going to do is just click on one of the foundation walls first. Now, whenever you click on a foundation wall, you can click on Edit Profile. And the whole world opens up to you. When you first learn this, it's fantastic because you can now draw this wall in any shape, period. If I go down here and I say 1 foot down, and then we're going to go like 5 feet, that's fine. And then we'll go 1 foot down again. Okay, and then we'll go to there. I'm being fairly conservative here, but you can draw holes in this. You can draw any shape you want of a wall. Okay, so we'll trim that up. We'll say OK to that, and guess what happened? The footings followed. Now there's a little riser piece that we need to add in. That's something we'll do in a minute. If I click on this one and I say Edit Profile, we can do the same. You can use other tools too, like I could do a copy multiple, and then I could go down like, I think we're going down 1 foot at a time. 1 foot there, then 1 foot there, and then I could copy again. I could say copy 5 feet, keep going there, 5 feet. And then we can use some trimming. So if I type in TR, I can go there to there, there to there. Takes some practice. It wants me to unjoin an element. I'm just going to say yes to that. There to there, there to there. It's kind of like the fillet tool in AutoCAD. Then we say OK. And we've got our other side stepping down. The riser parts, you actually just use a family that will infill that. And if I go to Insert, and then we go to Load Family, in our project files directory, we have one called Step Footing. Okay, and now what we can do is just add that in. So we're going to go to Home, Component, and then there's our Step Footing. The only thing I find with this is there's not a lot of intelligence in it. You just basically sort of drop it in. Who knows where it is, really, especially in 3D, you have to be careful. But what we'll do is we'll adjust the size before we put it in. So we can say its height is going to be 1 foot, and its width was going to be 32 inches. And let's just apply that. And then sort of how long is that top piece? So let's put it down to maybe 1 foot. It becomes, a little bit more like that. And you can use the align tools fairly effectively. So if I just type in AL, just align it to there, I can align it to the bottom. I'm just using my spinning and my shift middle button just to spin around. And looks like we're fine. It actually just joined up, so that worked out just fine. We'll take this one and we'll just copy it from there. And we'll go 5 feet. Then we'll go align again. I think we aligned down to the bottom. It seemed to work just fine. And then we could take this. Sometimes you can click on an object, say create similar, and then it just pops it in again. If we use the space bar while we're inserting it, we can just drop it in. It's very hard in 3D to get the right location. It looks like it may be right, but when you actually spin it around, it's quite different. So let's just do some aligning again. Okay, we're doing the base. And then we're doing that one more time. So this would be the most time-consuming part of it. It was to line it up. Take that as the alignment face. Move that up. Okay, that's good. Now, this is all right. The only thing you have to keep in mind is this whole step piece, it's not very dynamic. So if the steps have to change, you'll have to just go in and edit the size of the step footing right here in its instance properties. Okay, what about the other way of doing step footings? Some people use a wall as a footing. So if I go to wall and I go to edit type, duplicate, we'll call this one footing 1. Okay, and then I go into edit the structure, and what they'll do is they'll say, okay, this is 32 inches wide. And, foundation's about as good as we can get there. Okay, underside of footing level, sure. Before you actually draw it, you give it the actual depth. So I'll say 8 inches. And then as they draw it, then they've got themselves a footing. This is okay. The only problem is it doesn't carry through very well into the structural model. And if that structural model then wants to do some more analysis or something, then they're going to create their own. They may do their own anyway, but I'm just letting you know. The advantage to this way is you can click on it, edit its profile, and again, you pretty much can do whatever you want with this. So I can give it the step, plus I can give it the rise. Just like that. Okay, and then I'll just trim. Let's delete that. Okay, so now we have this stepped footing off to the side, which could have been under a wall for all intents and purposes. So you do have those two options there, and I'm going to leave it up to you to pick the one that you choose. Usually this one's a little bit more of a preferred method of working, but this way can be used. It's a time constraint thing. I'm going to keep that little piece off to the side for now. Let's just reset our temporary visibility. And we're going to just flip over into 3D Views, Show All. Okay, so there it is. This is all grayed out like that because it's the existing, and then this is the phase 1. Okay, so let's save what we've done. So we're going to go to View, Close Hidden, Save, and we can shut that down.